Hello and welcome to Emirates 24/7.
Here's what's coming up tonight.
Waiting for Wadima's law. Pending legislation for child protection is an important step in preventing tragedies like the death of 8-year-old Wadima.
Plus, sustainable cities. We find out why the German government has made it their mission to help build the future's megacities.
And cap confusion. The UAE central bank says that the new caps on mortgages have not been enacted yet.
But first to our top story this evening. The need for greater child protection has been highlighted in the UAE in recent months by the devastating case of Wadima, a young Emirati girl who was starved and tortured to her death. Authorities are determined to put new safeguards in place to prevent this from happening ever again, and new legislation called Wadima's Law is currently under review at the FNC.
If passed, the 72-page document will be the first nationwide child protection scheme and includes important steps like allowing children deemed at risk of abuse to be removed from their homes or preventing child sex offenders from working with children.
Well, joining us in the studio to explain this could revolutionize children's rights in the UAE is Anita Akkawi. She studied child protection for her master's thesis at the Dubai School of Government. Anita, thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Our pleasure.
Thank you very much. Now, I guess looking then at the new proposed draft legislation at Wadima's Law, how does it change what we already have implemented in the UAE? What is its significance?
At first, the law aims to regulate the rights of all children in the UAE in all the relevant areas that ensures a safe, secure and stable life for them and protects them from abuse and neglect. The law stipulates penalties to be applied against those who commit any act against a child affecting their emotional, psychological, physical, moral or social stability. Wadima's law is composed of 72 articles distributed over 12 chapters, which includes the definitions and the objectives assigned to the concerned stakeholders, as well as the general provisions and as well as the fundamental rights of the child, the family rights, culture, education, social and health rights, as well as the rights for protection, mechanisms for, and protection measures, and finally the penalties.
It's certainly a very comprehensive law.
Yes.
It's currently being drafted and debated at the FNC. What do you think are going to be some of the details they're going to be focusing on? What do you think will be up for discussion there?
First and foremost, they should focus on the definitions of child abuse and child protection, having a specific and comprehensive definition. They should also consider how such a law can be implemented, how it will be perceived and received by the UAE nationals and by the public in general due to its sensitivity. And also they should consider the culture and the society of the UAE and the fact that the UAE is a diverse community, bringing on, having people residing from all over the world, bringing on different ways of parenting.
Mm-hmm. I guess in looking at this issue of debate, I know that I've previously seen sort of quotes out of the FNC regarding the draft legislation talking about religious concerns, social concerns. What in particular do you see as the biggest obstacle when it comes to getting this legislation passed? Why is there that stumbling block when it comes to the social and quote-unquote religious concerns?
Yes, in fact, it is a huge debate if we can look at it from that side. The concept of family and privacy play a major importance here. The general meaning of family as it stands represents a state of separation from society's interference, and it's manifested in the use of privacy powers and the rights to make family-related decisions. And thus, outsiders cannot intervene in these decisions. So the public might they might not very easily accept the law because they might perceive it as downgrading their powers. However, children need utmost protection and because they're unable to protect themselves. So the balance between governmental and parental power draws a very fine line, and such a balance is needed on the one hand to protect children when needed and on the other hand to maintain the family privacy.
I'm just looking and then at the issue of privacy that we have in society. Do you see this as being a major stumbling block to it being passed? Is this something that you think might have to be looked at or amended in the current version of the legislation?
In fact, it is a challenge. It is a challenge, but it's just a matter of time. There needs to be a change in the mindset. People are moving towards that. People are more accepting of what is child protection. it will be less challenging. It will be fine. I think it's just a matter of time.
I mean, this is certainly one of the most controversial areas of the law. It's the first time the onus is on the state about being responsible for children, being able to remove them from home in a conservative, a very traditional society like the UAE, where family has been sort of held at the top of society for so long. It will be a challenge. What are some of the other main factors, do you think, that could be difficult to implement? What are some of the other ones to look at?
Two very major features in the law are the concepts of child protection experts and the emphasis on sex offenders. Under Article 41 of the law, it gives complete right to child protection expert to interfere legally in all the cases where a child is at risk, emotionally, physically, or mentally. And at the same time, the law grants full power to the experts to remove children from their homes if they are found in danger. Also on the feature on sex offender, under Article 53, the law prohibits any person who has been convicted of a sexual crime against a child to get a job where he or she can work directly with children, and also those that are released from prison are prohibited from living within 5 square kilometers of where their victims stay. Mm-hmm. So the challenges here in terms of experts, it's very challenging because the mindset of people and the families are not very accepting, and it's intimidating, giving so much power to experts. On the part on sex offenders, it's a little bit less challenging because the law clearly states the penalties and procedures, and every person wants a sex offender be punished. The real challenge here is having victims coming forward and disclosing the crime.
Just very quickly, we are almost out of time. In terms of why it's taken so long to see this kind of movement, obviously we had the horrific case of Wadima, but she's not the first. Why is it taking so long?
Due to its sensitivity. I mean, child abuse is a taboo, it's very sensitive, and to be honest, no one wanted to take the responsibility of rocking the boat. And Wadima, unfortunately, was the trigger which has, made things move faster.
Absolutely. Well, of course, we hope to have something positive come out of that horrific tragedy.
I hope so too.
Anita, thank you so much for being with us. Pleasure.
Thank you.
Thank you. Well, plenty still to come on tonight's show. We'll tell you why.